All right, we got the Fondjoy Superman 1/9 scale action figure. Now this is the deluxe edition, I believe it's called, that also comes with crypto. Pretty nice box, even though we don't see crypto on the back here, which gave me a little bit of a scare at first. I'm like, please, did they send the right one? They did. I guess they just have the same packaging for both. It's got the nice kind of magnetic clip here on the side that unfolds, and you can see Superman and not one but two cryptos packaged in there. Pretty nice packaging, nice sturdy box. You know, it's not a box you really want to throw away when you get it. You know, I usually toss most of the boxes of the figures that I unpack, but this is kind of like a nice little storage box, you know. Yeah, lots of logos, pretty decent action shot at the front there. It's odd how it says attachment and then posture. I don't know. Those are, I guess it might just be kind of mistranslation of stuff. I mean, this is all in Chinese, you know. These figures come from China. They are officially licensed, and they are the same scale as McFarlane, and I will do a comparison against the McFarlane Superman shortly here, but I just felt that I wanted to get both because of how good the other Fondjoy figures have been, particularly that Nightmare Batman I got in recently, and their Superman. So let's get them all out. All right, and here is Superman with the two cryptos and everything else we get in the box. The one thing that's kind of, I think, wrong with my figure is that the wired cape, I only have a wire on one side. This whole side is missing a wire. So that's kind of disappointing. But looking at the bottom of it, like the wire on this side, you can see it's just kind of poking through there. Like it's not really sealed at the bottom. They just kind of sewed it down along the side. So I don't know if my wire just like fell out somewhere along the way. I mean, I checked kind of all inside the box and the packaging here, and I don't seem to see it. So looks like it's missing, which that kind of sucks. A bit of a QC issue. Yeah, so I only got half a wire. It's going to require me having to go and buy a wire to put back in there and, you know, cut and kind of do myself. So that's a little disappointing. You know, I can only pose the cape on one side like that. But before we get too far into the figure, let's just take a look at everything he comes with. So you get this kind of Daily Planet press card. It's even got a bit of a cutout here that you could, like, you know, punch through that there, you know, and then you could put this on like a lanyard, I guess. You know, so when you arrive on the scene, you could be like, hey, I'm press for the Daily Planet, Clark Kent, let me through. And then the police tell you, what are you, fucking out of your mind? Get behind the yellow line, you know, like you're not allowed here, you know. I don't know. This, I guess, is a cool cosplay kind of a thing. You got two little cryptos here, both pretty cute. They got sculpted capes, not cloth. You know, both their ears are sticking up. Pretty much the same cute open mouth expression on both. Might have been cute if like one of them had a tongue sticking out or something, just to be a little more different. And one of them has the, I guess, a flight stand you would call it, although it doesn't lift him that high off the ground. In fact, he's even lower to the ground than the one that is just standing. Still, it's, you know, it's nice to get two cryptos. It's just more plastic for the money. And it's, yeah, they're both pretty cute. You know, I guess, you know, in case you lose one, you got an extra to display somewhere else if you want. I also get this nice Superman stand. It's kind of a translucent plastic, so it looks, it might be a little bit blue. It just looks more blue because of the blue background I have here, though. And then you get this, you know, kind of pinchy thing to hold Superman, and you can kind of, you know, you can adjust it with the ratchets there. But let's take a look at the figure here. So here's an up-close look at the David Cornsweat Fondjoy figure. Overall, a lot of really nice texture in the suit. Nice texture in the logo that's raised here. I do think the cape could have been sewn in a little bit better up at the shoulders here. It is a bit messy, and then it's just kind of cut along the back here. It's not really tucked in, so see it can like come up above the collar. I think that could have been a little neater. I don't know if my cape is just messed up again because I'm missing the one wire, so maybe others will look better, but like this here is just, it's not really sewn together that nicely. Yeah, actually it looks kind of crappy. I'm not gonna lie. But the figure itself, you know, nice face sculpt there. Looks like David Cornsweet. The profile view is a little weird. The profile almost doesn't look as David-y. Straight on it looks like him. Looks like the actor. Look at some articulation. So the head can look up and down. The neck itself, it's also its own whole separate thing. You only get one head sculpt for David here, and I think it would have been nice to have a couple others. You know, he doesn't have the curl in his hair either. It's just kind of all blown back. But you can get a lot of movement with the head. You know, it can go about that far down, about that much up. Like if you want him flying, he can't really look all the way up. And it's kind of limited by that collar piece in the back. Shoulders, can do T-pose. You get the bicep cuts. And I like you have no pin, you know, pinless double jointed elbows and knees, which is kind of becoming the modern standard now. You know, pins like McFarlane likes to do are kind of quickly becoming outdated, so it is nice to see that. I do think Fondjoy is kind of, you know, they've really stepped up their game, and they're kind of the example for how to do figures in this scale. You see the torso, he really doesn't move back all that much. He's got really decent ab crunch. He can move forward quite a lot. You know, see the stomach there, and then completely. Oh, and he just popped off. Wow. Okay. Hopefully that's an easy enough fix. Yep. Just popped right back in. Okay, that one came loose. I don't want to mess with the arm too much too, because I have seen horror photos of this arm popping off and then it's pretty hard to get back on there, so I'm not going to move it all that much. Waist 360. What's nice too, the legs can actually drop down to get a little bit more articulation, and you can push them back up. Kind of nice how they're tucked into the shorts like that too. You can get a bit more movement in bending the shorts. And the double jointed pinless knees, which is really nice. And actually the ankle joints done pretty nicely too. Not a lot of movement though. I cannot move. Oh, there we go, finally. I feel like I just broke his toe.
Okay, so here we got the Fondjoy Superman up beside the McFarlane Superman. Can you tell which is which? I can. But no, I mean, they both look pretty similar. They're both pretty much the same scale. And even the cryptos look pretty similar too. But just, you know, kind of a side-by-side comparison of these two. I don't know, there are some pros and cons to both figures here. So, I mean, just starting with the cryptos, because these are the easy ones, I actually think the sculpts, like, are pretty much a tie. You only get the mouth open with Fondjoy, and then you only get a mouth closed crypto with McFarlane. So it is kind of nice to have both. And I think you could easily, you know, switch around the cryptos. Like you could put the Fondjoy one with the McFarlane and vice versa, and it would look no different. You know, it doesn't really matter that McFarlane's crypto has a cloth cape because it's not wired and posable, so that doesn't really bother me so much. As for the Supermen themselves, there are a few differences. I have to say, I think the head sculpt on McFarlane better. I think McFarlane captured David Cornsweet's likeness just a little bit better, even though, you know, he comes with the faceplates, and the faceplates don't really add anything. You do get, I guess, some slightly more expressions as well with the McFarlane version, since the Fondjoy one only comes with the one head sculpt. But I do like, too, that he's got the hair curl up in the top, but the Fondjoy one is missing. Although the details on the body of the figure itself, though, are probably better on Fondjoy. He's got a lot more texture in the suit. The S emblem is also textured. which I do believe is movie accurate, whereas the McFarlane S is just completely smooth. And then, of course, the McFarlane figures have, you know, the big pins in the knees and the elbows where the Fondjoy doesn't. But when it comes to the wired cape, I mean, my McFarlane one is better because he actually has 2 wires, where this one, the cape material is a little bit heavier and the wires are pretty weak. Like if I wanted to like pose this up, that's just gonna fall. But the McFarlane one, very easy to like pose and it'll stay there. Whereas Fondjoy, I try to pose, it doesn't stay there, it falls down. Better cape McFarlane, better head sculpt McFarlane, better body sculpt, and better articulation Fondjoy. So it's kind of a split. I guess though the Fondjoy one also, I would say, has much better hand options, whereas, you know, the McFarlane one, this fist I actually stole from the Christopher Reeve Superman. He does not come with 2 fists. Only the Fondjoy figure comes with 2 fists, amazingly. The McFarlane figure does come with 2 open flight hands, as does the Fondjoy figure. These are the flight hands for that one. And the Fondjoy figure also comes with 2 just kind of open, sort of relaxed, expressive hands. Whereas the McFarlane one kind of came with like 1 relaxed hand, and then it had like 1 weird like force grip, like Darth Vader kind of, you know, force choke hand, which I really don't understand why. So hand selection goes to Fondjoy, and also I would say the stand goes to Fondjoy, because this is just a better stand with more presence than that, you know, typical little hockey puck thing that McFarlane gives you. Both are around the same price, so it's really going to come down to preference. Gosh, you know, if the wired cape was not ruined on Fondjoy, I'd probably give it overall to Fondjoy, but because my cape just looks like crap and it's not posable, I think the McFarlane one is going to be the one that's going to stay on my shelf. Although I might upgrade my crypto with one of these guys. I don't know. Unless I want 2 of these displayed, if I really had to pick, I kind of think McFarlane still takes it. You can maybe put the head over on this one. The McFarlane head is really tight. I'm not even sure if it's supposed to be removed. Yeah, you could maybe do a bit of kit bashing and swap the heads. If you're a tinkerer, you could probably fix the cape and do all that yourself, but just for, you know, out of the box, pretty even overall. You know, they both have things that I wish, you know, the other would have. You know, I wish the McFarlane would have the pinless joints and the texture. I wish the Fondjoy would have the better wired cape and head sculpt. But the hands, you know, you could probably use these hands on the McFarlane one too. Yeah, I don't know, it's tough, it's close. It's a tie. It's probably a tie between these two, and I was kind of expecting the Fondjoy to just blow it out of the water, but just because of some of those QC issues, I don't know. But I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I mean, is the Fondjoy one superior? Is McFarlane still hold its own? And what should I do now that I have 3 cryptos? I mean, goodness gracious, I have gone crypto crazy. I even got the Funko Pop crypto, man. I got the popcorn bucket crypto. I got all kinds of cryptos around this house now, and my girlfriend's gonna kill me. No, but thankfully she loves crypto too, so it's okay. He's cute. The cuteness saves him.